Hi, this is Marek from Tryb, and today I would like to show you a brand new game called The Dark Quarter. It's a collaboration between Lucky Duck Games and Ryder Games, and The Dark Quarter will be on Kickstarter on April 12th, and I will leave a link to the campaign in the description of this video. The Dark Quarter is a narrative game about a group of investigators who tried to solve different cases in New Orleans in the 1980s, and this will be not any regular cases, but they will try to solve things that involve voodoo and dark magic and night creatures and stuff like this. So there will be some supernatural things in here. This game is definitely for a mature audience, because the things in the story are not suitable for children for sure. And this game requires you to use an app. If you have played any previous Lucky Duck games, a game like Destinies or Chronicles of Crime, you might have an idea how the app will be used. I will tell about the app and about the game a little later. Now I would like to show you how the game looks like when it's set up on the table, what components you might expect in the game. Just remember that this is a prototype, and the final version may be a little different from this version that you will see here, but more or less you will get an idea how the Dark Quarter looks like and how does it play. So let me show you the game, and then we'll come back here and I will tell you my opinion on this game. Okay, so this is the Dark Quarter when it's set up on the table. I have prepared the game for two characters, Constance Moreau and Julia Paris. In the game box you have two additional characters. They all have some backstory on the back of the cards that you can read before you choose your character. But the main thing that you can see here is the map of New Orleans, and you will visit different places, different points of interest, you will talk with different people, and you will try to solve the investigation and the cases that are included in this game. On the map you can find different tokens, like these locations that you can visit. You can see different characters that you can talk to. Your heroes are represented by this very cool miniatures, and this is the main map, but also on the top you can see some location cards that are revealed when you visit specific locations on the main map, and the app tells you which cards you should place on the table, and they are like a zoomed in detailed location from the main location from the main map. And the app also tells you if you should put some characters on these cards, or some point of interest or things that you can interact with. So this is the main map, and here are additional locations that you will put on the table during your investigation. You have also two decks of cards. One deck of cards contains some story-specific, case-specific like clues and evidence that you will find during your investigations. Then you have a second deck of cards with different items that you will either buy or get during the game, and they are usually one-time use. They have one-time use effect, so if you destroy this card, you will get some bonus during different tests or stuff like this. So remember that this is a prototype copy, so my version, my edition may be different from the final edition that will be revealed on Kickstarter. So don't judge the game by the components or nothing like this, because this is a prototype. I have to say a really well done prototype, because all the cards and dice and everything looks really cool. But the final version may be different from the one that you see here. Okay, so we have seen the map, we have seen the locations, the cars, and we also have the character boards. And every character has got 4 different skills. The green one, this is talent, the red one is combat, the purple one is arcane, and the crown, this is charisma. And during the game you will have to do different tests. You will have to test different skills in order to talk to people, to find different clues, and etc. And how does it work? You can see different spots from 1 to 12, and each character has got these cubes that you put on the card according to the application, according to the app. It tells you where to put these cubes, and during the game you will be able to progress. But let's say that we have the cubes put like this, and you have 2 kinds of dice. You have the main dice and you have effort dice. When you have a test, you always roll the main dice, and if there are any available effort dice, you can add them to your roll. And after you roll, you check the results. Let's say we rolled something like this, and in total we have 7. And let's say that we tested arcane for Constance. She's got cube on 5, on 6, and on 10. And if we rolled 7 in total, we check how many cubes we have passed. So 7 is more than 5 and more than 6, but less than 10. So she's got 2 successes in her roll. During the game, you will be able to move the cubes to the left or sometimes to the right. So passing different tests will be easier. Your character also has got some special skill cards that one of the cards you get when you start the game, but the additional cards you can acquire by spending experience points. Every card says how many experience points you have to spend to get it, and these are additional skills that your character will have. Every character has got a special deck of cards with character specific skills, and this is really cool because it adds another layer to getting experience and progressing in the story, and making your characters more powerful, because you not only advance and adjust the cubes on your character boards, but you can also get additional skills that will help you during the investigations. And what you will do in this game, mainly you will walk around New Orleans, you will visit different locations, you will talk to different people, and you will try to solve the different cases and different investigations that you have in the app. You will have to talk to people, you will have to find clues, you will have to probably write down different clues and notes and stuff, and you will have to come up with a solution to the mystery that is hidden in every case in this game. I don't want to show you a lot because I don't want you to spoil it. I'm not sure how this case that I have here will be similar to the final version of this game. There will probably be some changes, but still I don't want you to show too much. But this is how it looks more or less. If you have ever played Destinies from Lucky Duck Games, you will find the Dark Water very similar in terms of how the app works, how the different tests work, how the character progress is done here. And it's different because in Destinies you created the whole map from different cards. Here we have the New Orleans map already on the table, but there are a lot of similarities. Of course, the story is completely different because this is like voodoo, magic, noir, detective, stuff, New Orleans, 80s, jazz music, food and everything. I really love this theme of this game. But some similarities to Destinies are here, and you will probably notice them by just looking at the components. So let me show you how the app looks more or less in this game. This is also a beta version. and then I will tell you what I think about the Dark Quarter. Okay, so this is the app more or less. I just wanted to show you how it looks like. You have the whole map of the New Orleans here on the screen. This is the same map that you can see on the table, and here you can also see all the characters or the points of interest that you can interact with. Like when you tap on City Hall, you have the option to visit City Hall, or you can visit this agency, and so on and so on. And a lot of gameplay is in the app, so you have to use it a lot. This is of course beta version, so just remember that the final version of this app will probably be a little different, but here is your character, and here you have an option to scan different cards, because the cards, they have this QR code that can be scanned in this app, and to get more information about something, or to ask different characters about some specific cards and things that you have found in the game. But this is more like this this app. So if you don't like games with apps, I'm not sure if the Dark Quarter is for you. But if you've played Destinies or any other Lucky Duck games, game like Chronicles of Crime, you will feel like at home when using this app. So yeah, this is the app for the Dark Quarter. I can already tell you that the Dark Quarter is one of the best narrative detective investigation game I've played in a long time, because I really like the setting here. It's not a typical murder cases where there is a dead body and you play as investigators that have to solve the case, but this game is because it's set up in New Orleans in 1980s, and you have all this voodoo, magic, vampire, and all these things here. It's really, it has a really interesting story, and for me personally, the settings is perfect. The investigators that you play as are not just regular people, because you have a vampire, you have a private detective who was great at his job, but lost his wife. His wife was murdered. You have a young girl who is great at voodoo magic, and there is this drunk guy who can talk to dead people. So these are not your regular investigators that you might know from other detective games. This game is heavy on app, and if you don't like games that require to use an app, the Dark Quarter is not a game for you, because a lot of action takes place on the screen of your mobile or tablet. You have to go to different locations on the app. You have the physical map, you have your player boards, and you have the cards, and you have the miniatures, and everything is of course on the table. But in the app you have also to move your characters, you have to interact with points of interest, you have to choose some dialogue options in the app. So you spend a lot of time in the app. I only have the first case, because this is a prototype, and in the final version I know that they have 4 scenarios in plan. It might change during the campaign, I don't know, I'm not sure. But the idea is that more cases and more scenarios will be added in the app later, just like in Chronicles of Crime. The game is dark. As for the story, it reminds me of comic books like Constantine, or I don't know, there's this 1980s movies about vampires like Lost Boys and stuff like this. So it's really cool, but it's dark. You have victims, you have some rituals, you have voodoo, you have magic. So you have to like this kind of story. I really like the component quality here, because even though it's a prototype, all the dice and miniatures of the main characters are really well done. If you've played the previous game from Lucky Duck Games, Destinies, you might have an idea how this game plays, because you have this character boards, and you track some attributes like arcane and charisma and combat on this player boards. You can advance your character during the game, and from what I know, the achievements and abilities that you will unlock in one scenario will be used in the following scenarios, so you'll have a progress of your characters. And the cool thing is here that every character has got a deck of cards with some special abilities that you will be able to unlock if you gain enough experience. So it's really cool because you feel the advancement of your characters, so they become more and more powerful and they have more and more interesting abilities that might help you during the game. In Destiny, if you created the map from cards, here you have New Orleans map as a board that is on the table. So I think handling and the amount of different components is you have less of it here, so you can more focus on the story. I've seen the first scenario only. It was very interesting. It ended with a cliffhanger, so it will continue in following scenarios, but I really like the story that was in the first scenario. I cannot really tell you how they are replayable because I will have to play the final version, but because all the characters are different from each other and because they have different abilities and different skills, even if you play the same scenario second time, you might get different maybe not the main story, but different side quests, because apart from the main let's say case that you have to solve in the scenario, you also have some character specific stories that you can follow, and they give you more backstory for the characters, but also they give you more story and information. And this is really cool because there are some locations that you can only visit with specific character, or some people that you can talk to with only a specific character. So this is really cool because apart from the main story, there are the side quests that you can follow, and if you play the game second time with different characters, you might get some new stories and new side quests that will be available for you. I really recommend Dark Water because it's, as I said earlier, one of the best narrative investigation games I've played, mostly because of the settings of this game that I really like. I like vampires, I like voodoo, I like dark magic, but at the same time it's not a horror game. It's more like like 1980s movies where you have this vampires and stuff like this. It's not really scary, but it gives you more Interview with the Vampire, the movie. It gives you more like this setting of the game and some interesting things that are going on. So thank you for watching. You can visit me on Instagram, you can visit me on Facebook, on Twitter. I will leave links in the description of this video. Like this video, click the like button if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will also leave all the links to the campaign, to Lucky Duck Games website, to Ryder Games website, and to the campaign in the description of this video. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.